Okay, we'll see what we can do with that.
Well, since this is November, a workshop with them at the beginning of the year would be fine, because that will give them ample time to get their act together to meet with us.
Okay, now we have a big meeting with Artesian on the 12th too, so may be very time consuming that particular meeting, so I'm not sure how much time you want to dedicate to this.
Well, here's where we talk about how much time to dedicate to it. And I'm not saying this in a negative way.
But
I know.
Board, if you want to stay here, we'll schedule
Well,
it and we'll stay as many hours as necessary. But I was thinking about the planning commission and you know, the volunteers and everything. I don't know.
They're volunteers, Louis, I understand that. But here's what I got, that I hear every place, not just the town, but the county. When it comes down to someone coming in and talking to the planning department, no one's here. No one can give them answers. No one seems to be here that day. Now, I've got a person out there that has to deal with another person because somebody else is not here. That's not the way this town works, volunteer or no volunteer, when it comes down to setting up a work session. I'm just saying to you, I'm a little fed up being a town official that don't have any clue of what's going on because they didn't get a chance to talk to somebody that's in one of the departments.
Well, I was just gonna say, I am the ex officio for the planning commission, so I do attend all the meetings, and I think what, I may be wrong, but I think what Commissioner Piner's speaking of is the projects before they get to the planning commission.
Exactly, that's what I said from the beginning.
I think to get the volunteers on the planning commission who do an absolutely excellent job, I have to say, here for a workshop is, I think we might need the planning department here for a workshop to see, for Jean Minner and her staff to explain when a project comes to town, what happens from the start. Because some of those projects don't even get to the planning commission.
Well, I think, Louis, you stepped one step ahead, and I sit there and
listen.
listen to you, and I didn't realize what you're saying. I'm talking about the planning department here.
Right.
I wasn't even thinking, and when you threw that in, I'm thinking.
Because the reason I say that is because the planning commission can have many questions that will hold projects up. I mean, you know.
Yeah, but it's already moving at that point. I think what Commissioner Piner's
It
talking
doesn't
about
get to
is
that
bringing
point.
the project to Elkton and not getting to the planning commission.
Okay, so that's
So-
easier. We'll set up the workshop, well, I only have one member, so we can set it up for the 12th of January.
You say you have,
Include that on the agenda.
you say you have one member?
Yeah, the Jean Minner.
No, you.
No, Terry's here a lot. Terry's at planning
Yeah.
commission, when Jean can't make it, Terry's here, so she answers a lot of the people,
Okay.
the developers that come here, she addresses them on behalf of Jean. So I
We'll set it
think
up for
she
the
should be here
January,
also.
12th.
So what else are we having on the 12th other than that?
Artesian Water, to deal with the service, potential service to Willow Properties and Tenby Ridge joint venture.
And the other issue was the skate ring center. But that's what I was wondering. I threw it in with the same subject, so this lady be talking like that.
And you know, Danita, if you could possibly go to Parks and Rec and talk to Mary.
That was going to, go ahead.
And, you know, just to see if she has any thoughts on this.
I agree with you. That's going to be one of my statements, talk to Parks and Rec as well. Even though you get our input, I think certainly that's their expertise, the Parks and Recreation, and maybe she needs to, as I agree with you, talk to her as well.
That's it.
I think Earl's point is valid in one sense, is the fact that, you need to know the interest that lies in people's minds to come here. And oftentimes, we don't realize something to come until after it's here. So somewhere along the line, we need to be involved at the tail and at the beginning. I have two items. Number one, Chief, you sent something out about a reverse 9/11. Is that something that you can give us?
No, that's a system that's presently in effect in the county. We used it when we went over to the new dispatch center and had the phone calls placed to the community to tell them that this was taking place. And that's what it does. What they're going to be doing on Monday is entering into a new redefined connector. so that it works better, and that we'll have parameters on it that it's only used to notify people if you had pending hurricane, for instance, and the county was going to be impacted in some way that would affect, the people. So they would pick the areas, it would automatically send out a message. People would pick up their phone and hear a recorded message.
And Louis, the status right now of Delaware Avenue?
The only thing left, they finished the sod. The only thing left, I think, is some landscaping trees to be planted around the entrance, and that completes it.
Have you ever, during the process of this, had you ever contacted the Department of Natural Resources to see how they could assist in this effort or what they can do as well?
No. The state already cleared it through them as part of their clearing process to do the project.
I'm also talking about debris and other things that may occur when we have a storm coming down the creek. Again, have the Department of Natural Resources ever been involved in that to assist us to move things along expediently?
No.
So you never contact them anytime during situations like this?
No.
Is there anything you think they can do to help?
I can send a letter to the secretary and ask them if there's anything they can do, and you're talking about flooding.
Flooding and debris and all those other things?
And certainly pose that question and see if they have any resources to assist the town of Elkton to deal with flooding. But the flooding obviously was a Corps of Engineers initiative because they have control, they have jurisdiction over tidal waters. So that's why they were involved in the study way back when. But I can send a letter to the secretary for natural resources and ask them.
If you will, please do. Charles Hicks? I'm good. He's good. All right, it's now time for the public. We have 3 sign-ins, and the first is Rebecca McKinney. And following Rebecca McKinney, we have Sandy Howard, and following Sandy Howard, we have Delnita Outlaw. So if you come in that order to the podium or sit at the table, your choice. We'll be glad to hear you. Please come, Becky.
Charles, I don't like sitting down.
Well, stand up. I said I gave you either or.
Thank you. My name is Mrs. McKinney. I've been in town of Elkton for the last 47 years, if not longer. I have a couple problems. I contacted the electric company today. There's a tree behind 150 that's leaning over towards the ball field. If the wind gets up any higher than they were today, the tree is going to fall, damage a car, or could kill someone. And evidently, they told me to go to the town of Elkton. I said, hello, I'm calling you. I'm then called the town of Elkton. But evidently, they told me to come here, so I've done been here. It's done been discussed it, so I don't guess we can do anything about it, can we, Mr. Lewis?
Yes, we already trimmed, we already removed probably a dozen trees back there already.
Well, we have one that has not been nothing done and is leaning very bad on the telephone pole or the electric pole by the electric warrant.
We won't touch the electric pole because the danger to our employees. We notify Delmarva Power. Delmarva Power's contractor has done 3 trees for us down there.
Well,
If
can
you
you
contacted Public Works, they will contact Delmarva.
well, can you do that, please?
Yeah, I wrote it down.
Okay, thank
Unless
you.
it's Verizon,
Okay, we also need to thank Mr. Lewis for cleaning the sidewalks tonight.
yeah, I do have a little of everything, so.
Anyway, another problem is, I read in the Season Week today. I don't agree with it, I will not agree with it, and I will go to the liquor board, it's next to me. I will not put up with it, I will not tolerate it. The pub is called, whatever you want to call him, next to 150. The bar. Number one, when you own a bar, in my book, day and time, you keep the doors closed. You keep your music to yourself, not to the streets, not to the town. We don't want to hear it. Doors are open anytime after 10 o'clock, clear up to 2 in the morning. Boom, 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 boom. Real loud. I went personally down there last night, 1:30, quarter till 2. Got dressed, I went down, I knocked on his door, which was open, but I still knocked. I went in. I said, excuse me. Number one, we have beer trucks coming up here delivering beer in the town of Elkton. Why are you bringing kegs of beer in your car and delivering them to your store? I think that's against the liquor board. And it is. I checked it out today. So he did get in trouble, which I personally don't care. And number two, Mr. Lewis, not picking on you, but I think you need to look into this and see if we can't do something about this door being open till 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. No bar should have a door open at 2. I worked at George's for years. At quarter till 2, the bar was closed and everybody was out. The bar is supposed to be closed and people are to leave by 2, no later, so you can clean for the next day and stack. And that law has not
You're suggesting
changed.
that I go to this bar and stay till 2 o'clock in the morning?
No, I can do that, that's not a problem.
Okay.
That is not a problem with me going to do that. If nobody, the law cannot do that, I can do that. And for me to call the cops, for the officers, there's no way you can do it. So you have to call 911. What's the important call? Where do you need us to come to? Is there somebody dying? No. Not that I know of. I'm not going to sit there and ask all those questions and be asked them and answer them.
Becky, excuse me, but with the liquor, it's the county that runs that, the town can't get involved in that, and Mr. Wilson is the attorney for the liquor board. So I think if you had any questions or concerns, you could go through them. I honestly don't know as far as an open or closed door. It's not our expertise, but that's what the liquor board at the county's for.
But it's our place, and we have enough officers in this town to make sure it's quiet